it's going to work.
We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. Talking Tin Pan South, Kyle Jacobs with us this morning. He's a songwriter, had some real success in the biz. A lot of people would love to get to the level you are, and that's one of the reasons a lot of people attend Tin Pan South, along with Bart Herbison, who's been involved with this for years. You know, let's get back to Tin Pan South in our final segment. Sure. One of the really cool things I think for people who attend this is that they may be going to an event and they may hear you perform one of your songs and they'll say, oh, that's one of my favorite songs. He's the one that wrote that? And just talk about what it's like for the crowd, and when you see someone's eyes light up and you're like, no, that's right, I wrote that song. You know? I'm just saying, I think that must happen a lot. They hear these songs that they know from their artists, now they're hearing the songwriter do it.
Yeah.
And
it's every show. I wait for it, because I can, you know, if he starts talking, I know what he's going to play, and we'll go 3, 2, 1, and the crowd like, you wrote more than a memory. And is that not one of the biggest compliments you get?
Well, I think.
And then they lip sync.
Yeah. When you see him singing back at you.
Yeah. I mean,
it is.
What an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, you know, because we, you know, you write so many songs, and only a select few are going to go out to the world, and we work so hard on it, and when you see that coming back at you, it is it will just blow your mind as a songwriter. Yeah. And I think I'll tell a quick story. So Kelly and I, my wife, we do USO tours, and she's done 12. I've been fortunate enough to do 10 with her, and so we'll go to Afghanistan, Iraq, and go to Bahrain, or just different bases around the country, and that is our absolute favorite thing to do, and especially over Christmas. And we love just loving on the troops. We love that. And so we had one that when the song "I Drive Your Truck" came out, which was based on a soldier who went into harm's way multiple times to save a friend, and he ended up losing his life, and he was awarded the Medal of Honor. His father was being interviewed, and interviewer asked the father, how do you get through this? How do you grieve your son? He said, I just drive his truck. And that's how I remember my son. So Connie Harrington heard that, Jesse Alexander, Jimmy Erie, they wrote that. And that song came to me as a producer for Lee, and we ended up cutting that song. So anyway, we are in Kandahar, Afghanistan, Kelly and I, and it is 35 degrees. It is Christmas Eve. There is probably 2,000 soldiers out there. And Kelly said to me, it was her show, and she said, you're singing that song tonight. I said, no, ma'am. No, I'm not. She said, you're singing that song. I'm like, yes, ma'am. All right, I'm going to sing that song. So I ended up singing I Drive Your Truck when it first came out. And I had to stop playing because it turned into church. Everybody was singing every single lyric. And then I had guys come up to me afterwards saying, I flew his body off the battlefield. Yeah. I was his best friend. You know, real stuff. Sure. And that's why, you know, songs matter.
Oh, yeah.
3 minutes of a song can change your life. It can make you feel happy. It can make you feel sad. It can help you grieve. It can help you get through a lot of stuff. And that's every time walking into a room. It's like, that's on my plate today. That's on my plate. How am I going to do that? You know, how am I going to accomplish that today? And
wow.
And finding that kind of inspiration or whatever, it doesn't come along every day either. Along those lines. I mean, but you wait. It has to almost come to you. You can't create it. And
we did a documentary on songwriters called "It All Begins with a Song" with Butch Spirit and the Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation, and Connie and Jesse go to the father's house and surprise him. Yeah. And I can't wait for this movie to come out. I've seen it so many times. It's very sad, but it's also so super uplifting to see what that song did and what it still does.
Well, I can't imagine what it means to the father as well. He says this, and then this happens. It's got to mean the world to him.
It is. That was my favorite #1 party of all time. Because generally, you know.
Well, you got to tell that story too.
Yeah. Well, you know, at #1 parties, generally everybody's in there, and they're happy to be part of this this #1 party.
There's 97 speeches.
Yeah, there are all these speeches, and everybody's talking, and everybody's doing business and stuff like that. Not necessarily sometimes paying attention to what's happening up on stage. As soon as Jared Monte's father, Paul Monte, got up on that stage, it was crickets. They listened to every single word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a call from Jewel. We've got someone before the end of the show that's been watching and wants to ask or say something. Jewel, good morning. Hi, Jewel.
Top of the morning. Thank you for having these fellers on. I got a question. I have many songs copyrighted at the Library of Congress. Do I have to renew those? Back in the day, it only cost $10 to copyright a song then. Do they have to be renewed? Is there a time limit on it? Also, another quick question. Tom T. Hall recorded one of my songs, and it went from Hallmark or Hall Note Music to Tom Collins, and I think Sony has it now. It's with BMI. Minstrel Man is the name of it.
All right.
And he never did release it. And I just wonder how much ownership that I still have on that.
You have ownership. So to answer.
Thank you, Nick, for having these folks on. You're never a disappointment. Y'all have a beautiful day and keep writing.
Thank you, sir.
So, Joel, that is your copyright forever unless somehow you change the ownership of that song.
It would be left to him to do that.
Yes, and you own that song. You own 100% of your portion of that song. So if you co-wrote it, your co-writer has a portion. If you have a publisher, they have a portion. You and your family, the American law is life of the author plus 70 years. So when the last co-writer dies, that moment on their death certificate, a 70-year clock begins ticking. And unless you sell those royalties or something like that, it's yours eternally, no matter how many times it's recorded, no matter
Meaning the
what's
family
done with it.
takes a
That's
portion.
correct.
And when
Or whoever you leave it to. Usually your family.
Or whoever you. It was just interesting. It was just that you mentioned it. I was watching one of those biographies on Jim Morrison from the Doors, and when he died at such an early age, but he was part of a lot of those songs.
But it's your co-writer, so Ray, you know, so it was from whenever.
Yeah, Ray Manzarek, and he'd have
like Lennon McCartney. Paul's been dead for 40. I mean, John for some odd years, and so Paul still. That starts when he expires, and it's a 70-year clock, and that's pretty much globally. It's a little different in a few other countries, but it's generally life of the author plus 70 years.
All right, let's wrap it up now since we just have 3 minutes left. Just tell people what they need to know if they want to come down and see.
Look, it's Songwriter Week in Nashville, Tin Pan South. You can go to tinpansouth.com. There is an app, and we are in night 2 of 100 shows and 400 performers. Every genre of music, every style, like Kyle said earlier. The music's great, hearing the songs is great, but the stories about how the songs were written or how they've touched lives is maybe the best part of all.
It's just more of what you heard this morning from him, which this is just such a great show this morning, just hearing you guys tell these stories. And all right, so yeah, the tickets. So you can find out if you're looking for a specific, performance or type of music. It's going to be on your website.
It's to be on tinpansouth.com through the app. NSAI Official is our Twitter account, and we're going to tell you what shows. So this works this way. We sell week-long club passes, about 700 of those. They sell out immediately. You get first dibs in the lines. So there's some clubs that are going to have the shorter lines, and there are bigger ones where we have shows like 3rd and Lindsley, and we'll tell you where you're more likely to be able to purchase a single show ticket. Okay, and most of the single shows will be between $10 and $20, something like that. And some even less. Cash admission at the door. And did you say earlier you don't want to go if it says special guests? You might want to see. I've had these great moments, like Gary Burr was playing a show one night.
What's that? I'm sorry?
Gary Burr was playing a show one year. 3 hours with Carole King. Nobody knew.
Man.
Jackson Brown has showed up. Lee has showed up on some of his shows. So you just never know. Vince Gill. You don't know.
Yeah, but you do, don't you?
I don't always know.
Yeah, but you know right now. He has secrets. Well, he won't say. He won't say. But would you say it's safe to say there will be some of these appearances?
There are every year.
Every year,
Kelsey Ballerini about 3 years ago just decided, I'm going to go play as many shows as possible. She'd hit 3 in a night, so you never know. It's wonderful.
Okay, and again, you will be at the Bluebird on
Friday.
Friday.
6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m.
Ben Glover, Rachel Thibodeau, and Philip LaRue.
That's awesome.
What a show.
This is a great event. And listen, so Bart, it's good
pleasure.
seeing you. It's
Always.
a pleasure. Kevin, I mean Kyle. I know.
I'm never going to live that down.
Listen, it's great seeing you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Garth Brooks called me Bob Herbison.
I hope he did.
He didn't.
I hope he did.
I'm telling that story now.
I'll tell you what, this festival, this is a lot of what makes Nashville Music City, and I think it's just awesome. Thanks, guys, for coming on so early this morning. I hope good turnout. It's good seeing you. I don't see you again. See you at the Jack next year.
See you in Lynchburg.
All right. Take a break. I'll be back with a programming note about tomorrow, right after this. Stay with us.